What is the premise and central conflict of the epic drama set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings? As an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, confronts the long-feared reemergence of evil in Middle-earth. Welcome back to Movie Recap World. Today, we will take a look at the movie Pray for the Devil, released in 2022. If you're ready, let's begin. At the beginning of the series, a few children ask a beautiful girl named Galadriel, who is sitting a little far away while they play Blind Man's Bluff, whether the game is over or not. The girl tells the girls that it's over and shows them a paper boat in her hand. Then she drops it into the water, and the boat slowly opens up and moves in the water as if it were a dragon. Jealous of this, her friends pick up stones and throw them at the paper boat. Galadriel gets angry and jumps onto her friends, but at that moment, Galadriel's mentor comes and takes her away. Afterwards, we listen to the universe and story of Lord of the Rings, and we watch the wars of Middle-earth and the destruction brought by the wars. Years later, Galadriel takes a helmet in her hand and looks at the battlefield. Then she puts the helmet in a pile with all the other helmets. Afterwards, we see that Sauron takes over and kills Galadriel's brother, and we see that her brother burns with the fire of revenge. We come face to face with the image of a mountain covered in ice, where Galadriel and her companions climb the mountain, make plans, and continue their journey. But at night, some of her companions face difficulties. The snowstorm puts them under great pressure and slows them down. When her companion tells Galadriel that there is nothing here, they all turn around together and come across a huge building. When they enter, Galadriel looks around and sees something like a mirror. Galadriel, our expert in violence, opens her way with her fists and enters a hidden refuge. And when they pour water on a stone they found, they learn that Sauron was here a while ago, and Galadriel tells her companion about it. When a companion with a bow and torch sees a huge monster, he starts to run away, and as the monster attacks everyone, Galadriel rushes to the scene and sends the monster to its heavenly abode with a few sword strikes. However, Galadriel's companions, probably frightened, decide not to continue this journey and leave Galadriel alone. In another scene, we listen to the conversation of two people who have horn-like wings on their backs, and it seems like something has passed behind them, so one of them turns around but can't see anyone. After these two people leave, we see that a hidden tribe emerges. They open their houses and come out of their hiding places, returning to their daily lives. Two young girls go to the forest with their friends and collect various fruits, and one of them sees a footprint and shows it to her friend. After her friend realizes that it belongs to a huge creature, she immediately takes her friends and leaves from there. We go to Lindon, the capital of the High Elves, and here we return to the village and conversations of the forest people while Galadriel discusses the progress of the war with an old friend. Nori, a girl, tells her mother that she is curious about what is happening outside and doesn't want to hide. Her mother explains that every race has different solutions for survival, and that they have survived by staying together without going outside. At the same time, we see that they are at an acceptance ceremony of the High Elves, and Galadriel is crowned with a crown. The elf king who crowns her and looks the coolest gives a motivational speech, and at night, when Galadriel walks alone in the forest, her friend Elrond comes to her and tells her that if her brother saw her, he would be proud of her. However, their conversation becomes somewhat tense, and Galadriel tells him, "You haven't seen what I've seen," and reveals that she is seeking revenge. Her friend Elrond warns her that there will be more casualties if she is wrong, but Galadriel doesn't seem to be turning away from the path she has chosen. In another place, we come across a village covered in greenery, and an elf named Arondir enters a tavern and orders a drink. He asks a few questions, but a young man doesn't like what he says and challenges him. However, Arondir behaves quite peacefully and resolves the situation before leaving the tavern. He approaches a woman and takes a small bottle from her, and valuable things come out of it. Arondir is surprised at how he found them, and they chat for a while. When the tavern door opens, Arondir pretends as if nothing happened and leaves from there. When he returns to the center of the village, his companion asks him if he found anything, but he doesn't give very talkative answers. Then, as they approach the castle, a soldier runs towards them with a letter and tells them that the war is over and they will leave from there. Arondir climbs to the top of the tower and observes the surroundings when Largo comes and asks him who he was before the war. Arondir tells him that now, since the war is over, he will be someone new. Arondir doesn't respond to the things being told to him. The beautiful girl Arondir was talking to is working with plants at home. And while she tells a child in the house to do something, Arondir arrives, and they talk about leaving from there. Then a man brings a sick cow to Arondir, and when he examines the cow, he notices that it produces black milk. Arondir and Bronwyn go to figure out the reason behind this situation, and after a while, we see that Bronwyn's son takes out a broken sword from a hidden compartment in a farm, and the sword has Sauron's emblem on it. In another scene, Elrond talks to his friend and tells him that he was right about what he said to Galadriel, and that what he did will benefit the whole world. In the forest, we see Nori, and the wise elder of the village tells her that she is too curious. Nori is looking for an answer from him, and after her insistence, she manages to get a somewhat satisfying answer. As Arondir continues his journey with Bronwyn, they experience romantic moments, but after walking a bit, romance is replaced by flames and chaos that have devastated the village they were watching. We watch the High Elves performing a strange ritual in the sea, accompanied by white birds following them, and at that moment, the sun begins to shine even brighter, and their ships approach the light. Everyone holds hands, and when Galadriel takes a sword and jumps into the sea, the lights go out. While wandering in the forest, Nori sees a meteor falling from the sky, and when she approaches it, she encounters a man lying on the ground. And the movie ends here. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next one.